How would you feel if if you were a worker between 1995 to the present day, and your boss gave you 7 consecutive days off of work for the holidays? I know that is something that you would greatly appreciate. This is what Chinese workers have experienced since the mid 1990s due to the Chinese New Year and the following of the lunar calendar during that time. Some countries, such as the one we live in, only give one day off for national holidays, such as Labor Day, New Year's, Christmas, and Thanksgiving. Through the way they celebrate the Chinese New Year's. The Chinese New Year's differ vastly from American New Year. According to the Asian American Pacific Islander Coalition, there are over 3 differences between the Western and Lunar New Years. Now we will view differences between the Chinese New Year and the American New Year. The first difference I will share with you is the length of the celebration. As explained in the Encyclopedia Britannica, the Lunar New Year is a multi-day holiday celebrated all throughout China. However, the Western New Year is a one-day celebration and is celebrated all throughout the United States. For the Chinese/Lunar New Year, they celebrate until the next full moon according to the lunar calendar, which is how the holiday received its name. Also, considering the Chinese follow a lunar calendar during the beginning parts of the year. The difference between the two lengths of celebration is that the Lunar New Year celebrates for an entire lunar cycle, whereas the Western New Year celebrates for the day before and early morning of the day of the celebration. The dates of the Lunar New Year may vary on the year. Based on the ACCP article, Lunar New Year, Western New Year's, the date of the Lunar New Year changes depending on the year. But regardless of the date, each culture that celebrates the Lunar New Year has lasting customs, traditions, and beliefs. The tradition of the Chinese New Year dates to Shang Dynasty circa 1600 BCE. Another way to help celebrate the length is through Chinese zodiac animals. We've explored the differences. Now we continue our analysis to the similarities between the two. Let's analyze similarities between the two holidays. What you might ask yourself, what do both use to celebrate? Based on an article by Yo-Yo Chinese about the Chinese New Year, the Chinese set off firecrackers, similar to what I have here. So they'd have some of these right here, but they were a little different. They were less modernized. Or fireworks as a way of celebration. The Westerners also set off fireworks as a way to celebrate making it a new year, although the reason for celebrating are different. The purpose is the same to celebrate. The celebratory tactic came from the Chinese gunpowder invention circa 1960 AD, which stands for Adano Domini, which was later adapted into fireworks by the Song Dynasty during the 9th century. The use of fireworks was a way to celebrate festively because the fireworks displayed bright color once they exploded. Because the colors were bright and the sound were loud, it seemed like a good idea for festivity, and both places have decided to include it in their celebration. However, it has more significance in China because fireworks were created in China, which gives it more of a cultural significance. From the differences to the similarities, now finally, who is celebrated? Lastly, who or what is celebrated? The 12 zodiac animals are celebrated in China. According to the AAPIC, there are 12 zodiac animals celebrated during the time of the Chinese New Year. As stated in the AAPIC article of the Lunar New Year, the order of the Chinese zodiac is rat, ox in China or buffalo in Vietnam, tiger, rabbit in China or cat in Vietnam, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. The Western New Year celebrates one successful revolution around the sun. With the Western New Year, there are no specific deities or beings that are celebrated on this day, like in China. During the day of the Western New Year, there is more popularity in celebrating the clock striking 12 rather than the 12 zodiac animals. Another celebration tactic is eating food. According to the website Yo-Yo Chinese, the Chinese eat certain foods like dumplings and fish as a sign of luck during the Chinese New Year. The Western New Year doesn't eat food as a sign of luck like the Chinese, but instead of a way to feast and enjoy new beginnings. In summary, the Chinese New Year differs vastly from our New Year in various ways. However, there are just as many equalities as there are differences. The comparison of the two holidays reminds me of a quote by author C. Joy Bell-C. We are all equal in the fact that we are all different. We are all the same in the fact that we will never be the same. We are united by the reality that all colors and all cultures are distinct and individual. We are harmonious in the reality that we are all held to this earth by the same gravity. We do not share blood, but we share the air that keeps us alive. Thank you.